All right, welcome everybody. This is lesson 1.5, the very last lesson for the checking account. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this process so far and learned some good things. Today we're going to talk about selecting a checking account. Now some of you in here have a checking account, okay, but you probably have one because your parents signed you up for it and or you have a high school checking account. And so what's going to happen as things change and as you grow and as you move, you're going to want to probably find a bank that's local. Now, if you ever Google search a bank, ladies and gentlemen, or a credit union, they are all over the place, okay? I mean, literally all over the place. If you go, no matter where you go, what you see, you'll see them all everywhere, either big branches like Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, or smaller ones that are local like Arizona Federal Credit Union or Desert Financials, which is a local one. It used to be called Desert Schools, I believe, but they changed it. So one of the things is understand there is such a thing as local credit unions and banks or large national ones. And what you're going to want to do is decide on your own where you want to go and what you want to do. Okay, so that's kind of what today is about. So you may have a bank say, well, this is kind of a stupid lesson. It's not, because unless you stay here in Arizona, or even if you do and you want to develop your own habits and be your own person, then ladies and gentlemen, you're going to want to try to get your own thing. All right, so here we go. So in this lesson, we're going to compare and contrast banks and credit unions, consider different features, values, understand specific perks and requirements of a student checking account. All of my kids in high school had this. Conduct online research to select a checking account and enumerate what paperwork is required, okay, for this. So we will have a little side project today. All right, do you have your own checking account already? If so, how or why did you choose this? Did your parents get it for you? It's possible. That with my kids' answers, that would be the answer. And then if not, what factors do you think are most important for selecting an account? Remember, there is no right or wrong answer. The only wrong answer is not doing it at all. All right, so pause the video, do this, and then go from there. All right, how to open a checking account before you apply. All right, big key things with this, ladies and gentlemen, is make sure you understand how this actually works, okay? So here is a how-to guide. How convenient is that? Now, it's a little older, but ladies and gentlemen, it's still relatively the same, okay? So how to open a checking account, step-by-step guide, tips, and more. So when you go on this, it talks about share draft account for credit unions. That's what it may be called. Before you apply, you're going to need some identification things, okay? How much money do you plan? Compare financial institutes and types of checking accounts that they offer, okay? They are not all free, which is right here, okay? Monthly costs, services, fees, requirements. Most of them require either a minimum opening deposit or a minimum balance and even or a direct deposit. So please make sure you understand what is required of you, okay? Read through this, and then, ladies and gentlemen, figure out which one of these would be more pertinent to you, which cost factors are most important to you personally. Everyone here has personal own identification because that's what I love about this class. This is about you personally finding who you are, your belief system, your sets of values, and pushing forward in life and finding your own road. Okay, so figure out what that is, what non-cost features are important to you. And then a friend says, hey, I just opened a checking, I'll just open an account at my parents' bank and I'll switch later if I don't like it. Does that sound like a good strategy? It may not be. Now, let me put a disclaimer here. Most of you in here may not be able to meet these minimum requirements. So you're gonna have to do a high school account, and that's okay. Do it for now, but understand, ladies and gentlemen, in a year or whenever you're done and graduate high school, and if you're going on to college or not, whenever you're not a student anymore, things change, you're gonna have to change as well. Okay, so go from there. All right, what's the difference between banks and credit unions? Please, is this a YouTube video? No, yay. Okay, brand new video. All right, credit unions versus them, what's the difference? You go in here and it'll tell you what is a credit union versus what is a bank, okay? Is it better? Higher interest rates and deposits. Look at this stuff up, lower banks, stuff like that, okay? Disadvantages of a credit union, I'll have it in there. Ladies and gentlemen, go through this and realize, okay? And then you can skim the video. Skim the article. Is there a video on this? Did I miss it? Wait, is that it? Nope, don't do that one. Is the video at the top? Did I blow right through it? Oh, it says there's a video, but I didn't see it on here. Look for it, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't. Otherwise, you're going to have to skim through this article, okay? So, choose bank, credit union, or both. All right, must be part of a specific member group to join. That would actually be credit union. I I know that one for a fact. Profits are given to shareholders. Figure out which one is which. Offers checking accounts, savings accounts, CDs, and loans. That would actually be both. I'll tell you on that one. Look the last 3 up, and then you go from there. All right, 5 questions to ask when choosing a bank. Let's see if this, go on there, and yep, it's YouTube figured. All right, so watch the video. What should a good checking account offer for free? Okay, talks about specifically opening a checking account as a student, which you guys are. Now, I'm going to also preface one thing. A student not only means high school, it does mean college. So before we end this class this year, I will put in a strong recommendation to all of you to continue your education. It may not be at a 4-year institute. Matter of fact, I would never, unless you have a scholarship for a full ride, I would always recommend going to a 2-year university, which is much cheaper and that you can afford, especially in Arizona, and you can pay for all your tuition in cash, have a 2-year degree, and be debt-free. That's the ideal goal. Now, there is trade schools as well. I would highly recommend going to a trade school as well. I have 3 children. One's going into a 4-year university this spring, okay? He went from a 2-year, he's graduated with his associates, he's transferring into a 4-year, smart man. My daughter is finishing up her 2-year degree and will be transferring into a 4-year degree in the fall, in the spring, smart woman. And then my youngest son is going into a trade school, okay? Now, he is learning a trade to be a plumber, but is actually gonna go to a college, Yavapai, because he lives up in Prescott, to get his associates in business. Now, him and I have had discussions about whether he goes to trade school or not. He's gonna go the internship route, but still get his associate's degree in business, so that way, ladies and gentlemen, he can start a business later on, and it looks good not only for future employers as a manager, but as a bank, okay? If he wants to go in for a line of credit to start a business because he hasn't saved up enough money, it looks brilliant. You guys need to think that same thing, and we will talk this whole year about making sure we set you up for success, okay, no matter what. All right, so look at this video, tell you what it does, and it tells you what video recommends, ask what happens to your account when you graduate from college. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you want to figure these things out. All right, student checking account comparison in the top 10 banks. Okay, nice little setup here. All right, this is brand new as of January 6th of 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I love this resource. It gives you a bunch of things. Now, I imagine if I blow this out, this is much easier to read. Okay, so put it on a full screen and figure it out. Okay, with only the information provided in this chart, what you know from personal experience from each bank, which accounts would you choose and why? All right, and then before opening an account at your chosen bank, list 2 other questions you'd want answered. So you pick one, and then, ladies and gentlemen, or pick 2 if you want, and then find out and write down what questions you have, because my hope and goal is that you guys would take these resources and not only use them now, but remember these in the back of your mind so that when you enter adulthood and you're on your own, you start to ask questions like this. Very important. All right, 6, compare selected checking account. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be something that we will be doing as a project, okay? If I click on this, it comes up with the Word doc. This is gonna be on Canvas. There will be a separate video for this, and then we'll go from there, possibly. If it doesn't show up on Canvas, then I chose not to do it. I think I have it up there. We may be doing something different, especially if it says this one's been retired, because I looked at this already once before, but we'll go from there. If it's not on Canvas, then you don't have to do it. All right, so how to open a checking account, step-by-step guide. Okay, read the opening again. Here it goes right to the opening, and then figure out what you already have in terms of documentation versus what you need, okay? Please make sure you guys understand that you're gonna need some documentation, whether it's your birth certificate, social security card, identification. Read this if you're a passport, if you have one. By the way, if you don't have a passport, I'd wait till you turn 18 and then get one. You're gonna need it come October to actually fly, because Arizona does not have the, especially if you turn 18 before November, Arizona does not have the clearance on our driver's license unless you get that little gold star, but we'll talk about that later as well. Or if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it or come ask me. All right, a couple different things. Answer these questions. Would you prefer those? And then go from there. Ally Bank commercial. All right, once again, YouTube video. Look at this and watch this commercial and kind of look at what they're trying to get in point here. What exactly are the people in the commercial urging the man at the ATM to accept, okay? And then given all you know about checking accounts, should he accept it? Why or why not? Remember, advertising is a driving force behind consumerism and behind advertising. Some of you guys need to understand, and that's what we'll talk about, how things are placed and how advertisements are actually pushed for you. And then last but certainly not least, there's the exit ticket. And not only this, ladies and gentlemen, but there's the one on Canvas with comprehensive questions. All right, so this is the last lesson. So what's going to happen next, guys, is this is it for this one. If there's an activity that I'll post it up on Canvas, I'll do it later, but that'll be done. The next thing we're going to do is a unit test, okay? Please make sure you guys remember all unit tests are open notes, all right? The unit test, when I load it up live, I believe is 25 questions, multiple choice. Good luck doing those. And then, ladies and gentlemen, understand what we're shooting for here, okay? It's for an understanding to make sure you guys are successful about the basics of a checking account. If you have any questions, come see me in class, either virtually or online if you can, and then we'll go from there. I hope to see you guys soon.